hablando de skills. Hablando de skills. Aquí en Base y Fundamento te voy a decir lo que tú mereces.
It's an honor having en Base y Fundamento.
What?
It's an honor.
What?
It's a pleasure.
What?
Having en Base. Having.
Mire, gente. Hoy es un programa legendario.
No, it's in English. It's a pleasure.
Esto es como cuando estabas en la escuela, papi. Only
It's
English.
an honor and pleasure to have.
To have this hip hop legend and his artist,
Yes.
El Sousa, in Base y Fundamento Backstage Network, and all the public. No?
Today we have
Okay.
Dennis Cole, Tony Stark, Iron Man, Ghostini, the great GhostFace Killah from the Wu Tang Clan.
And
Also, we have his artist, Boricua de Isabela,
Puerto Rico.
Papi,
¿qué pasó?
El Sosa.
Es una bendición de Dios. Aquí estamos en una de las entrevistas más importantes de mi vida, en el show de Maki Backstage.
Yo quiero que el público sepa lo complicado que es pegar o hacer este tipo de gestión viniendo del lado oeste de Puerto Rico.
Árbitro para este encuentro de una leyenda.
it's an honor, it's a pleasure having this two. Oh, excuse me. Continue.
¿Quién empieza? Yo estoy bien nervioso.
I'm ready for the first question.
Yo, I have never been nervous. We have big artists in here, international artists in this program. I had never felt anything, but with you in front of one of your heroes, or one of the best groups of hip hop in the world, you get shook. And today I'm really nervous, but we're gonna go on.
We're gonna do the work.
We're gonna do the work because we are Base y
Fundamento.
Okay. ¿Quién va a arrancar? Yo no me atrevo a arrancar.
Mikey Backstage tiene que arrancar.
First question.
In English.
First question in English.
In English.
Yeah. Okay. Reggaeton.
Ya empezó este.
Reggaeton. Okay.
Hip hop.
No, reggaeton.
We're gonna make a switch first of all.
Okay,
So he wants to start with the reggaeton.
I want to start with the reggaeton. Okay. You guys are like the guys. So hip hop, rap are the guys. You are like number one, global, number one. But the reggaeton is like winning the position. We have Bad Bunny. We have Eladio Carrion that he has a music, a song with 50 Cent recently. So how you guys see the reggaeton? How you guys like feel about reggaeton?
You want to ask the biggest hip hop hardcore group in the world how they feel about the reggaeton movement?
Yeah. No, let's listen, man. Who put me? I was on the plane sitting next to this dude, this white dude. I forgot what label he worked for, right? And it was a few years ago, like mad years ago. I don't know, it was like 8-10 years ago, whatever. But there's this kid out here that's doing it called it's Prince. It's like a reggaeton. Prince
Royce?
Yeah,
it's like bachata, urban bachata.
I think it's Prince.
It's more like a urban pop.
But he had mad views.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, you need to get out of that and go and you know what I mean, try to get over here." When he showed me the views on his phone, sitting next to me, and I'm like, "Wow, I never seen no shit like that." I think he had like almost like 1 billion views. You know what I mean? So I'm like, "What the fuck?" This shit, he's like, yo, this is the next shit right here, next wave, before he even was like to where it's at right now. So I respect it. And I look at hip hop and I look at reggaeton and it's like, yo, listen, man, what's first shall be last, what's last shall be first. It's like, it's winning. It's winning.
Yeah.
Plus, it's almost, we are cousins of you. We're
Yeah.
hip hop.
Feel it.
And Puerto Rico started the same way than the hip hop started in New York. We started by the DJs,
right,
with people recording in the projects and doing the whole thing underground. And in the first 10 years, it was just the DJs ruling the reggaeton thing. It was only in the streets, not in the radio. That's how we started.
You think reggaeton is the number one right now?
Yes.
More than hip hop?
Yes. You can see, numbers don't lie. You
know okay.
Why you think that happened? What's the factor?
It was new. It was new. It wasn't really like heard of like that. Then it's like a lot of Latin countries, like y'all real big. Like the States is the States. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But when you start going to like Colombia and you know what I mean, and Chile and you know what I mean, all of that, it's like it's big, it's mad big. So it's like it's just a wave of shit that you know what I mean. It's a lot of Latin artists out there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, super lot.
And together, I want to feel the same question, but I want to know, what do you think about the back in the days, or not back in the day, but real close? Like there was a video that went viral when Busta Rhymes talks about how the hip hop culture was formed with the Puerto Rican community and the black people community in New York.
He said what?
I want to make a toast. I want to remind everybody that may not know how the origin of hip-hop was started. The origin of hip-hop was started by the power of black and Puerto Rican people. In case you needed to be reminded, a lot of motherfuckers want to try to gentrify our culture. A lot of motherfuckers want to try to act like they conveniently forget who fathered this shit.
Like he
said that Puerto Ricans were part of the beginning of hip hop, of the
actual fact.
culture
in New York.
Actual fact, yes.
So
like he said we're like brothers.
Yeah.
So it's like that, yeah.
Most of my brothers that do graffiti art, that do b-boy, are Boricuas. Crazy Legs from Isabela. Cope 2, I got his shoes right now on. He was the best graph artist.
Right.
And in the beginning, there was a lot of DJs, and Puerto Ricans were hand in hand with you guys, starting the culture.
Right. So at the same time, we start to building something right here in PR with the reggaeton culture. So I'm in the same way think about Pedro to say like the reggaeton got all the base of the hip hop culture
it have to because reggaeton when it starts actually with ragamuffin.
Yeah. We got
KRS,
that influence.
You know, we got the influence from KRS-One doing the bridges over and all that, and then we got people like Jamalski, Supercat, Bad Lion, things like that. Right. And what we did in here is like we mix rap flowing over ragamuffin.
All of our cousins were in New York and came back. And there was a big hip hop community in Puerto Rico, and we mixed the dancer from Jamaica, Shabba Ranks, all that music with the hip hop from New York. So that's why the reggaeton has a lot of sounds from New York. Because we took the New York sound, mixed it with the Caribbean sounds, and made the reggaeton. It's a mixture of the two cultures. That's what reggaeton is. It's a mixture of hip hop and dancehall,
and everything is about the point that we got in the map, the location of PR, because we got the influence of United States and we got the influence of the Caribbean, from Jamaica and Panama and everything. So that's why it happened.
Yeah, that's dope.
And actually, now that you have El Sosa as an artist, you know, Sosa is a well-known person who can rap in Spanish and very like how you say versatile in English? Versatile. And he got many styles and all that. Yeah. When was the first time that you listened to reggaeton? How was your impact on it?
On reggaeton when
the first time you heard it.
When I first heard it, it was the time when I matter of fact, was it Daddy Yankee in them.
With
With gasolina.
No, with Nori.
Oh,
No, it was with Nori and Daddy Yankee. Boricua.
Yeah, I think it was like
Oh,
back
yeah.
then. It was like back then, back that time. That's when I first heard
Okay.
it.
Okay, Sosa, how do you hook up? You're from Isabela, Puerto Rico. Eres de Isabela, de aquí de la isla. Viviste casi toda tu vida en Puerto Rico.
Hasta los 19 años.
Y how you hook up with one of the greatest groups ever
Of all time.
of all time?
Bueno, a mí me pasó lo que quisiera mucho que hubiera pasado. Yo he tenido la oportunidad de que Dios me bendijo con algo que yo me enfiebré desde mi corta edad, cuando empecé a enfiebrarme con la música. Siempre decía, como vivía aquí en Puerto Rico, estuve aquí hasta los 19 años,
Me imagino.
y estaba jangueando en la escuela y jangueando debajo del palito, y decía a los chamacos, mira, yo un día de esto yo voy a rapear con Wu Tang. Y ellos me miraban y se reían, me decían, diablo chicos, sigue fumando, que eso está bien bueno. Y yo pues, ¿sabes? Todo era un vacilón, y yo pues, lo decía de la boca para afuera, pero en verdad yo quería hacerlo porque me enfiebré con la música de ellos. ¿Qué pasa? A los 19 años termino yendo a los Estados Unidos y comienzo a hacer música yo. No comienzo a buscarlos a ellos, no comienzo a
persuadir para el canto de ellos.
Mi familia es de Staten Island. Mi familia son amigos de ellos de niñez. Pero yo todavía no tengo contacto con ellos. Mi familia se había ido a Florida y ellos están viajando. Para conseguirlos a ellos es sumamente complicado. No es porque vivimos en Isabela todo el mundo, a ellos no los iba a encontrar. Llego allá y pasan los años, me desarrollo musicalmente y llega un momento que me llega una bendición y alguien que los conocía yo personalmente era amigo de un amigo mío, y esa persona se entera de que yo estoy escribiéndole música a ciertas personas, que tengo talento, y me dice, dame una canción que se la voy a enviar a un amigo mío que es el mejor amigo de él. Y yo pues le envío un tema. Ese tema me llega a las manos de él y ellos me invitan para que yo lo conociera a él. Termino yendo al estudio de ellos, pongo mis temas y aquí estamos.
Pero tú estabas ready con temas para que el hombre escuchara.
Dios es grande, mano. Yo he pasado más de 25 años tratando de infiltrarme en el mundo artístico. He ido innovando, me he ido creando nuevos estilos porque ciertas cosas no funcionan. Yo pensaba que no funcionaban. Lo que pasaba es que yo me estaba probando y me convertí muy bueno en todas las cosas. Era un proceso que yo tenía que pasar. Pero cuando yo llego a las manos de él, yo estoy musicalmente ready. Sin saberlo. Los cantazos de la vida, las experiencias me llevaron a estar ready sin yo saber que lo que yo decía que iba a hacer,
ya lo venía
19
sembrando.
años, 18 años, llegué a hacerlo sin buscarlo y estaba ready, que es lo más loco del mundo.
Duro.
Wow.
Qué duro.
This is the question that everybody will know the truth today, and we're gonna document it. Ghost, back in 1998, when the Wu Tang Forever album came out, you was advertised as a group to come to Puerto Rico, and a group called Normal Syndicate, which I was part of them, we performed and we supposed to open the show for you guys.
Right.
And it was about 10,000 persons on that show. It was about 10,000 persons on that show. And as soon as we finished to perform, the producer says, hey, listen, Wu-Tang Clan ain't coming. Which is the truth behind that? Did Wu-Tang Clan knew that they coming to Puerto Rico at that time? Did you ever knew or was aware that show was on? And if you find out today, let me know.
Tell you the truth, I didn't know about that personally. I didn't know about that, but like I said, we would have came. I said maybe the money might not have been right. I don't know how the promoter that was dealing with it at that time or whatever, but I get people that put my name on flyers and promote me all the time, and I don't even know nothing about it. I'm not there. I find out off of somebody else on Instagram or something like that, but you know, that wasn't even out back then, but I don't know. And I feel bad that if 10,000 people did show up and there wasn't no Wu in the building, because at that time we was kind of like on fire.
Actually,
It was a big show.
It was on fire that day.
Literally was on fire. You came before to our concert 3 years before. Then Method Man came after his first solo album. And then this was promoted throughout the whole island. That's a big ass concert. And when they told us, the artists, that you weren't coming, and they exit everyone.
They burn all the place.
No. A lonely artist went up stage and said, "Gente, Wu Tang no viene, revoleen por lo suyo." And when he said that, the crowd went wild. The stage went on fire. People,
you see, like my man, Alex Fat says, "Why lie?" He says that we were on fire.
Right.
You didn't know nothing.
We didn't know nothing, and he just showed me that. It's like
the salesman was
after 30 years. He know about that. After 30 years.
Okay. Why Wu-Tang didn't came another again from that year?
No, because we don't book shows.
Okay.
So it'd be like the promoter. You know what I mean? They call in for it, this and that and the third, and and then the managers will handle it from there, and they take over it. But if we didn't get the calls to come in like that, and if they did probably get the calls, it wasn't probably for the price. You know what I mean? So like, oh no, that's not enough for the. And it could go like that, or we just didn't get the call.
I got a very interesting question. I want to go now deep. We did the ice breaking already. Ghostface, if you could communicate one profound message to your younger self, what will be and how might it alter the course of your life?
To my youngest, before I was making music?
No, to your younger self. Now as an adult. If you have the opportunity to give an advice to your younger self,
right? Before I was making the music, or while I was in music,
before you was making your music, your mature self. What do you tell to your younger self, and how would that affect your life?
My younger self, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna say that I'm glad I went through what I went through, but that's what made me the man that I am right now. You know what I mean? Like, if God did this, then this is God's work right here. Like, you know what I mean? I done did a lot of stuff, bro. Robbing and stealing and selling drugs and all that stuff like that. Being on the street. Like I say, even if my father was in my life at that time, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. You know what I mean? It would have been a different route for me. And, like I said, every disappointment is a blessing. You know what I mean? Because I never visioned. I mean, I dreamt about where I'm at right now, but to be at the magnitude on where it's at, I didn't see it like that. I just knew when we was coming in that we was going to tear motherfuckers' heads off. I knew that verbally. But I didn't know that, all right, once I drop this record here and these albums, it's going to go like this. You know what I mean? So I don't know what I would have told myself back then. Probably like, yo, exercise more and learn some new words or something like that or whatever, and just try to at least a little bit stay out of trouble or something. But other than that, I struggled, man. I really struggled. You know what I mean? Like, mom's alcoholic, father was not there. I had brothers with muscular dystrophy in the wheelchair. I'm the oldest, so I had to play that part.
You had like 12 brothers.
Huh?
How many brothers you had?
5. 4.
Well, and one of them was in the wheelchair.
2 of them's in the wheelchair.
2
in the wheelchair. There's 2 in the wheelchair.
Do you think that the portrait that they did to you, for you?
I never watched that show.
Never watched it?
Never watched it.
Why?
Because that's not my story.
That's not
at all. That's not my story. My brothers is in the wheelchair, and they knew they knew how to speak and all that stuff like that. So I heard RZA had him in there, not trying to, and not blaming my brother, but you know what, Hollywood or whatever you want to call it, Hulu. But my story is, I got a story. That's like,
it's deeper than that.
That's water. That's just watered down, whatever the case may be, like that.
So you think that they put a little frosting on top of it, like
mad frosting.
Mad frosting.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why when people ask me that question, I'll be like, yo, I even be like, all right, go looking and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, RZA, we just talked about it the other day. He said, yeah, I know you didn't see it, but yeah, I didn't see that. You know
in that show, they show you and Raekwon as bitter enemies.
Nah,
and like you hated each other and you shoot off each other and you're like a duo. You're like the first duo not doing, and all your records, there's Raekwon, and his records you're in. And that's the best thing of the record, that you're both in both of you guys' records.
Right.
So how was that relationship started? You were you enemies or you were friends? What happened?
Me and Ray was cool. I mean, that part right there wasn't even about Ray. It was somebody else.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It wasn't about Ray. Me and Ray never had no. That's why in the beginning we was like, yo, what the fuck you know what I mean? And shit like that. But I guess he just tried to make it for what it is. You know what I mean? For TV or whatever. But me and Ray never had no problems. It was somebody else that I started some bullshit, like I told you, and then it came back to me.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Ah, man.
But that part right there.
I think that is even disrespectful to you, man. I think you know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. But that's why I didn't watch it. You know what I mean? Because I even got people from my town saying like, you know, that's not how it went. Like, you know what I mean? And I know that. That's why I didn't watch that shit. So
okay,
I mean, that's it.
Great lyricists are usually the worst beat speakers and the worst people. They choose the worst beats almost always. But you are a great lyricist, and your beats are always on point. All your records, you got awesome music. What is your process for choosing the music that you use on your records?
It's not really a process. I just like good music. Just like good music. Like I know what I like. It's like beats is like females. You know what I mean? You know what you like. You know what I mean? And that's it. And when you get on there, you do it to that beat, it's like, yo, you done bagged it. You know what I mean? So I look at it like that. And if I'm not feeling something for my personal album, I'm not gonna use it. So it's times I don't went through, like, people sent me beat packs and I go through like 1,000 beats and beat one in there. Be one. And I'll just take that one and put it to the side and do it to the next one like that. Do it to the next one until I get like at least 12. You know what I mean? But you have to go, but it takes a while to get to that beat to make an album like that.
So you know that you think that the music is the most important part?
Yeah. But I mean, it go together.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, if you give me a beat and the beat sound like somebody got murdered, I'm gonna write murder. You know what I mean? If it sound like it's sunny outside, then I'm gonna write something happy, probably, or about the sun or something. You know what I mean? That's just how it go. You know, I don't rush raps. I don't, you know what I mean? I take my time on it. I take my time. Even if I got to get 4 or 8 bars, I just do that. And if I can't think of nothing no more, I won't even touch it. I'll come back to it another time and get it right. You know what I mean? There's sometimes you can just go and just knock the whole shit out. You know what I mean? But that's if there's a process, that's the process to me on how I go. Like, you know what I mean?
This may sound a little disrespectful. It's not disrespectful.
Yeah.
But there has been in Puerto Rico, and I've been in many panels talking about your lyrics, about the depth of what you meant. But I think sometimes you make up half of the things you say. Am I correct or am I wrong?
It depends on what song. You know what I mean? It depends
Supreme
on what
Clientele,
Supreme Clientele, Nutmeg,
Apollo,
Nutmeg, One, and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, Apollo Kids.
Now, because what happened when I was in Africa, right? I was in a village. And this is before Supreme. I'm in a village and shit, and I'm in there watching, you know, like just watching how they was taking peanuts and making oil out the peanuts and all that, like using it for cooking oil. And I'm in a village where there's no electricity and shit like that. So I got to piss and shit inside this little, you know what I mean? This little round hole and shit like that. Wash, take the tea kettle and with the water and wash like that with the soap and it was an experience. So something just said like, yo, just write some rhymes. And I was doing shit without music, but something said to me, he said, yo, yo, you know what? Just make a style that don't mean shit. It just sound fly with words. You know what I mean? And that's how I was saying shit like, yo, scientific, my hand kissing, robotic, listic, optimistic.
I was thinking about that line.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wordplay. That's just wordplay.
It's just wordplay. But that's just another form of rap that I just created to myself. You know what I mean? Instead of just having to go ahead and just do the same old thing. So I did it a couple of times, like that song and the song after that one that came like that, and yeah, you know, on Supreme Clientele. So, you know, that was that though.
Strawberry kiwi.
All that like that. Yeah, all that like that. Yeah. So I did that on purpose. On purpose.
I just want to bet.
You know what I mean?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was on purpose. Yeah. But then you got people out there that try to decipher that shit and don't even know, like don't they trying to figure it out. But it's I can't even figure it out.
Exactly. I've been in shows. I've been part of podcasts and shows, just deciphering your lyrics, yours lyrics. And people know he means that. He means that.
That's what I tell you. You know what I mean? Especially those two or three records right there, like, you know what I mean? But now when you hear shit, you don't. I'm out of that chamber.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like when I spoke to God Bless the Dead, MF Doom, he was like, "Yo, as far as the mass and the same style and cadence." He said, "Yo, I got that from you." You know what I mean? And you know, that's my brother and all that. But I'm like, all right, cool, because we supposed to did the album together, me and Doom. You know what I mean? All abstract shit, like, you know what I mean? So when he told me that sitting next to me on the plane, and you know what I mean, it's like, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like, you know what I mean? Because when we listen to Doom shit, it's almost like the same thing. You don't really understand him, but he got the mask on too, like, you know what I mean? Because I've been left the mask alone, but he came back and brought it back.
I was going to ask you about that. You started with the mask.
Yeah.
And why did you took it off?
Because they didn't have enough masses for me. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, they had enough. I'm tired of wearing stocking caps. You know what I mean? So I just was like, yo, I can't take this shit no more, man. Because it's like I'm rapping and it's like it's really making me sound muffled through the stocking cap.
If you did that, like MF Doom had a guy that went to the shows for him. He wasn't even him.
Oh yeah, he does that. He was doing that shit.
Yeah. But in the beginning, there was a guy with too much shadings in the Wu Tang video. That was you. Or there was someone else.
On what?
In the first video of Wu Tang, there's a guy with too much machetes with a mask, but he didn't have your build. He was smaller. You're big. You're big guy.
What was the first video?
Yeah, the first. I
didn't have a mask on in the first video.
No, he had the stocking.
Stalking.
Got the stalking in the
didn't
first
have the
video.
stocking on in the first
So it's
video.
not you.
That's protect your neck.
That's protect your neck. Yeah.
Yeah, but who had this sock?
There's a guy coming up front with the machetes.
With the two machetes.
And I was fighting. That's not him. That's not him. He's too small.
No. Yeah. I think that might have been my man Lounge or somebody from the Hill. I think.
So I won 2 bets now.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yo, Ghost, my bad. I got a question. I think about it's gonna be together with the same question. I think. How do you interest in Latin music or have a Latin artist? Yeah. And how do you connect with the music or salsa music? What have his music that you say? Oh,
his music speaks to you. Like when my guy brought salsa to me, and he played the shit. It's like I hear people music, but this one, it was just something about it where, I mean, like I said, it spoke to you, and it sounded mad big.
Nice.
Like I felt the hit inside the song. Even I didn't know what he was saying. You know what I mean? I would ask him like, yo, what's that about? What song is that about? But it was so well just put together. It just sounded like it was out there already or needed to be out there. So, and when, like, I'm not the only one that heard it. It was like I had people in there that heard it. You know what I mean? So they going crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, okay. I see what this is about.
I have a good ear,
you know,
for the Latin music too.
Right. So
you feel it, you connect.
You just know
automatically.
You just know. I didn't know what he was saying, but it was like, yo, you just know. But then when you got other people just vouching, like, yo, that was me right there. Play that back, or play that one again. You know what I mean? And then he started showing us videos and shit. He already had his shit together, man. He was it already.
Nice.
So now that you have the opportunity to make your music, you know, and probably get out to other outlets like this one right here in Puerto Rico, which is your dream collaboration that you might have with a reggaeton artist that probably might be looking for this podcast, and you can tell them like, hey, yo quiero colaborar contigo, o me gustaría colaborar con tal o tal artista. ¿Cuáles serían esos artistas que te gustaría colaborar?
Bueno, ahora estoy en un nivel que con cualquiera, en verdad. Estoy que llegué a un nivel que cualquier estilo, pero siempre decía, porque sé que van a buscar en entrevistas, y siempre he dicho, Arcángel. Me encantaría hacer un tema como lo llevo diciendo muchísimos años. Han salido muchos artistas nuevos. Eladio Carrión. Es alguien que me veo haciendo música.
¿Te identificas con él?
Me identifico con él. Ahora antes me gustaba decir que iba a hacer featuring con ciertas personas porque los veía en ciertos estatus. ¿Tú me entiendes? Cuando yo me descubro como artista, digo, ahora yo quiero hacer featuring con gente que vayan con lo que yo estoy haciendo, no porque estén más pegados que otros. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Sí, con tu color.
Con mi color, porque estoy tratando de verdaderamente hacer temas, no hacer cualquier cosa.
Okay.
So, ahora cuando yo escribo
exigente.
Ahora cuando escribo un tema, ya tengo a alguien en mente dependiendo a cómo ellos tiran el background de ellos, porque ahora es como una obra de arte para mí cuando hago un tema.
Qué duro.
Ok, ¿tú crees que un artista que no es calle pueda cantar? O sea, ¿tú crees que un artista que no es calle pueda cantar maleanteo? O sea, dentro de lo que son tus códigos. O sea, si no eres calle, ¿puedes cantar sobre la calle? ¿O necesitas vivir la calle?
Bueno, yo te voy a hablar de mi experiencia. Viste, yo no te puedo escribir nada que yo no haya vivido yo personalmente o uno de los míos, que yo estaba ahí y me la he vivido con ellos. Y puedo hablar de eso porque puedo hablar de eso. Pero también hay casos que, pues, si te la puedes vivir, vívetela hasta que te pillen. ¿Tú me entiendes? ¿Tú me entiendes? Y he visto un show con ustedes que hablan de eso. Y estoy de acuerdo con el que dejarlo en la música. Mantenerlo en el estudio. Porque somos actores. ¿Tú me entiendes?
We're talking about if an artist that is not street can record gangster rap. If you're not street, you can record gangster rap?
You can't or you can?
You can't.
Can't, right?
He's asking.
I'm asking if
like if you are not from the streets, like if you're gonna, how you gonna rap about the streets if you are not from the streets?
Everybody's doing that. Everybody's doing that. Everybody's doing this new generation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Back then, you probably would have had a problem. You know what I mean? But now it's like you can't do nothing to these guys. You can't say nothing. It's like it's a whole new wave of just like everybody's doing it. Like
it's like no code to the streets.
There's no code. Nah. It's
code.
gone. There's no code. No code. You know what I mean? You can't even speak to these young guys like that or try to drop a jewel on them like how we was getting jewels dropped on us back in the days. You can't teach them. Like they just don't want it. They don't want to hear it. They in their own bag, and that's it. So all that is over. You know what I mean? It's like you just got just accept it and get in where you fit in. That's
because we're having a lot of changes in the Latin music.
Right.
Like you guys in the hip hop too, because I remember that back in the days you're like very street guys, but now we see artists like Tekashi, like
no, don't bring that into the conversation.
But
when you bring the words,
it's something that it's happening. It's happening in our movement. It's happening too. It's not like the gangsta color is not like very trend. It's like more
it's
watered down.
It is watered down. You know, like I said, it's anything goes now. like anything,
man,
anything. You know what I mean? And everything. So
you can do like you can like surf in that or no?
What you mean surfing?
But you can like go around that.
I don't understand.
Like for example, if like they do their thing, but you go like okay, they do their thing. I do
you
mine,
gotta but you just gotta stay. You just gotta do you.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, you just gotta do you. Because now it's like when we came before, it was rappers, but it wasn't that many rappers like how it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then when you got social media, and then when it came, it's like it's like you ain't even gotta be a rapper and just do something like you rap, and it's like it might just take off. The stupidest shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh shit, that's a hit. But it's like when we was coming, we had to battle each other. We had to battle each other. Like the Clan, we battled each other before. All of us, like on stage, like except for Deck was locked up, Master Killah wasn't there, but everybody else, we battled each other. Like, yo, at this kid's party one time, and you know, and Capadonna was the one that won the money. He won the money. You know what I mean? But it's like we went to war with each other before we even became Wu. And all that, like all that shit like that. We became Wu maybe like 6 years later, or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, the streets was like nothing but ciphers. Yo, you know what? Oh, this nigga ain't nice. This nigga nice. This nigga. You know what I mean? You had to be nice. You had to have talent. You can't just come up in there and just rap. You're gonna get blown away. That's when it was serious. You know what I mean? Now it's like you just doing it to do it. It's like the game.
More celebrity now. More celebrity. Not too much talent.
Exactly.
Man, I thank God that we had the Afrocentric, conscious, hardcore rap that raised us. The Tribes, the Public Enemy, the KRS, the Wu Tangs, which made being smart and knowing shit cool.
Right.
Do you think that having those examples in the mainstream, in the new kids, is part of the problem that the new artists are having? Did we lose hip hop? Is lyricism important anymore?
You know, nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Even though how bad we might be, like, damn, how did shit go like that? This is always going to change. You know, it's like you like even when there was soul music back then, and then all of a sudden, Marvin Gaye come with the other. Wait, what's that song he had?
Sexual Healing.
Yeah, Sexual Healing. It was different from Let's Get It On. It was like times was changing. You know what I mean? So that's a whole new other wave that's came in like that. Like, you know what I mean? And when he moved on, he was scared because he didn't know how it was gonna be. But that's where it was going. Because when you had the soul, then disco start coming. You know what I mean? Then at the disco, you start getting all this other shit.
But when we started, we respected our elders. Like I'm 45.
Right.
I didn't leave the Melly Males, the Grandmaster Cast, but I respected them.
Right.
I knew about them. I learned about them.
Right.
And those guys, the older guys, talked about give up shoes.
Yeah.
And we learned from their example.
Right.
And that's where you come on in the golden age of rap.
Right.
But now, kids, do you think that they're having those examples or not trying to listen to anything changes
things?
Kids
don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit, bro.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. Don't get me wrong. It's like, I don't knock a man for feeding his family, but you should be able to tell a story about, you know what I mean, about where you getting your money. You know, like knowing your forefathers. You know what I mean?
Is that still rap?
Is this? I don't know what you call it. You know what I mean? But I guess it's rap to them, even if it's not our rap. You know what I mean? That's they rap. That's that.
But rap was about lyrics, about saying
it was
saying stories, saying something.
Wordplay, it's happening.
But and it's gone. It's like I'm not saying it's 100% gone, but for the new wave, it's like it's simple. But then you gotta look at the mind of these individuals. Remember, these is guys like 18, 19, 20, you know what I mean? So but you gotta look at how they was raised.
You wrote all that I got is you when you were like 16. You were a kid.
Know, but that wave with that
Method Man wrote with 14 year anything I showed him man.
Yeah, but
that's
that wave,
crazy lyrics.
Yeah, but that wave was different. We was like when we was young, we was like already like grown men. The way we thought. the way the kids think, way these
the
kids think now.
situations that we had actually
that brought us to it like that. Yeah.
But
So the way these,
our generation got that philosophy that we got that we can see the generations. We grew up and see the big generation like a respect, like an influence for us. So maybe not like to copy exactly that you do, but maybe we can trace it like a same way and do something like close that you do back in the days. So, but right now the generation they don't interest to know about the history of nothing, brother. They don't.
And they got the whole information.
If you ask to somebody,
they listen. They don't.
They just don't care.
They just don't care. It's like right now, our generation.
But there's the real flow. There's in your generation. There's the real delivery.
Right.
That's the real.
But it's like you gotta understand. That's right. Where we came from, it was like I said, we was grown before our time. We was grown before our time. Like, you know what I mean? Even dealing with Islam and mathematics and things when we came, we was like those babies that was like more intelligent. You know what I mean? But now it's like these kids, and now you can't really blame them because you gotta blame how they was raised. You know what I mean? But when I was 18 and 17, all that, it was like family was still family. It's these kids, these kids are really on their own and don't really know. So they don't. That's why I said before, like nobody dropping no jewels on them like that. They not in the hood. We used to be on the benches and just the older guys would come and just school us, and you know, and that's where we picked it all up from. You know what I mean? Now it's like the kids is just out there. They and I feel bad for them because when you be looking at the good old days from back then, these motherfuckers don't got good old days. They don't even know what it is. No. They think this is the good old days.
You know
what I mean?
And they don't. They got more information right now. We don't got the same.
We didn't have the access to
the access for the information.
So everything is more easier for them. It's like and simple.
But what you're saying is deeper than that. Like they. You know what? That's
like. Let me tell you something.
They would not have good old days. They would.
The new grandmothers right now. They in the club with
their son, with their daughters, with
their daughters, and all that tattooed out.
Yeah,
they not like grandma
doing
the big fat grandma in the kitchen with shoes on and shit like that.
Taking care of the family
with the kitchen at 500 degrees. It's not like that no more. All
Yeah.
that real shit is gone.
Everything's changed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers smoking weed with their grandbabies and shit like that. You couldn't do that shit with your grandmother.
No, I feel you.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's
true. They slap me.
Yeah.
My mom would.
Even the simple names. You got grandma Pearl and this and that and that. Now you got Grandma Keisha and Tamika. And
That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that it's deeper because it's like you're saying.
It is deeper.
They will not have good old days. Like
they won't.
Like us when we sit down, we goes like.
You remember the good old days.
Like in '96 what we did. They goes like.
Yeah. We know about the real respect.
Everything's in the phone. I don't have a good memory to think about it.
A lot of kids even play basketball.
Like even when you take even music will bring you back to that place you was when you was young. But these guys. What's gonna be their place? Or they babies, what's gonna be their place? You know what I mean? Of that music like that. And it's sad to think of like good old days. Like it's no more.
No.
It's just gone, yo.
Do you think we lost hip hop?
Did we lose it? I mean,
because you're going towards the whole world.
Listen, we know what we like. We know what we like. We could have lost it. You know what I mean? Or whatever. It's not the same to us no more. You know what I mean? But these kids that's out there doing it, they don't know. This is hip hop to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's like skinny jeans or getting everything Gucci and this and that and the third, trying to stay with everybody else, is like, yo.
I think with the first generation, because in Puerto Rico and in the States, our fathers listened to another genre of music. This is the first generation that there are 3 generations that say they listen to the same music.
Same one.
Right.
And they call it. But it's different things.
Yeah.
When I used to listen to EPMD and BDP, that's rap. But it's not the same rap from 21 Savage to do a sample. It's not the same.
Right.
This is gonna be hard, man. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
I'm sorry. What I'm going to do, I'm sorry, okay?
Go
Okay,
for it,
can I
Mikey.
do it?
You got Wu Tang in your hat.
I know how Wu Tang.
Yeah, but
I draw
careful.
in my high school. In my high school,
Careful.
I draw the W like Wu Tang. I draw in the
You draw in the pupitre.
in the libreta.
In the pupitre.
In the libreta.
The
Okay.
notebook. And
Okay.
notebook.
This is a very hard question, okay? You're gonna tell me, El
see.
Sosa, and Ghostface. You're gonna tell me too. Sorry about this, okay?
Ay, Dios mío.
Can I do it?
Just go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I have two questions. Okay, I want that you tell me. This is a very hard question, but I want that you tell me if you have a basketball team and you're going to put the 5 first players in the court, but they're not players. No, they're not basketball players. They're artists. Give me your 5 best players of all time of hip hop.
I can't really do that.
I know it's very hard.
Yeah.
But if you have a team, you have 12 and 15, but you have to put
The regular 5.
the regular 5. For you, like coach, if you are a coach, it's very hard to you too in basketball when baseball. But if we have it,
But there's so many greats
I know.
that like a lot of them you can't even put in order. You know what I mean? Like you can't put like, all right, I'm gonna put this one before this one and this one before this one. You just like for me, you know, my golden years was like in the '80s when Kane and Rakim, G-Rap. I could put 5 of those. You know what I mean? That's there right there. You know what I mean? But then you got Nas and Jadakiss and Biggie and Genius and you know what I mean? These guys here, Mobb Deep. It's like, how would you really do that? Like, you know what I mean? It's like now if you separate it in the '80s and maybe the '90s and
Which are for you the best 5 storytellers?
storytellers.
without me,
Without you.
without me, Slick Rick, Nas, Slick Rick, Nas. I would say I probably storytellers, right? Genius. Rakim could tell a story too.
Yep.
That's 4.
Ghostface Killah.
Yeah, I'm not even diving in.
Eso lo digo yo, porque como lo puedo incluir,
I don't know, stories, probably Eminem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coño, tiene la
Probably
mente.
Eminem.
Stan.
Because Stan is
It's incredible.
He's incredible to me. So I can't leave him out in there like that. But
Okay.
that was just stories.
Damn.
That's just real quick.
For
there's
us-
there's probably more than that.
For us,
Yo. Yeah.
like the Mount Rushmore of like all the flows of rap is like for us is Rakim, KRS, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, and Slick Rick. For us, all the
Storytellers.
styles.
That was
No.
storytellers or rapping?
It's rapping.
Oh, cool.
For me, all
Yeah.
the styles come from those 5 guys.
Right.
That's right.
For
That's
you,
right.
which of those 5 are what inspire you the most? What that you come from? That come your style from those 5. Well,
From those
For those
5,
five.
which is the one that most identifies your style?
Your style comes from.
I loved Rick since the 80s when he first did Lottie Dottie, but when it was just on tape.
The street, yeah. I got that tape.
You got a tape?
Yeah.
You gotta give me a copy.
Okay.
So yeah. Since that time like that, I love Rick like that. Like you know what I mean? Him and Dougie Fresh. You know what I mean? So it'll be him first. I don't got an order for anybody else, but if it was for me like that, it'll be Rick. It'll be Rick.
Don't you think that you have a little bit of Cool G rap in you too? These stories and you.
Because I go places. I go places when I rap. I don't know. I love G Rap. You know, because people sleep on G Rap. You know, he should be in more conversations than what he's in right now. Like G Rap. Me and Kane were just talking about that. He's hard. He was like if you could take those, he was the hardest out of all of them.
Yes.
I'm talking about hard. Like D Block hard. You know what I mean? He was like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man, because I got so many styles. It's like I'm just one of those guys. I'm like I could cover so much ground. It's like I could do regular rap, I could do R&B rap. You know what I mean? Like you could just you can't just put me in a box because it's like I got just mad styles to it. Like,
and you went to different phases.
You know what I mean?
You went with the abstract phase. You went to your more commercial phase, and you went with the R&B, like more and more with Neo and
test
shit.
the waters.
And then you went underground doing stories and doing those epic. But let's talk about your Def Jam's times. What happened then? Those times, because
I fell off on Def Jam. They had so many artists there. Excuse me. I fell off on Def Jam. They had mad artists in it, but I wanted to go there because they was like the Yankees.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I got to get over there after I left Sony. But then when I got there, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. It was like they had so many artists in that building.
And your music changed, and you were doing like singles and
that's what I'm saying. It just wasn't a fit. It wasn't what I thought that was gonna be a fit because they was winning. You know what I mean? Because me and Sony had big problems in there dealing with Razor Sharp and all that. When after Supreme Clientele, it started like getting a little shaky in there because I was on Razor Sharp with RZA in them. But then I wanted to really like do my own shit. You know what I mean? Get my own shit, and a lot of lawsuits was going on in there at that time. So I couldn't even. It was like I had to make a decision, and then that's when I had left Razor Sharp, and then wound up on Sony. But then shit happened over there where it just wasn't working, and I wanted out, and I left.
If you have to do a soundtrack of your life with 10 tracks, which will be those tracks?
A soundtrack of my life with 10 tracks?
With 10 tracks, hip-hop tracks, any artist.
Right.
Which songs will be those?
I mean, there's only one song, that I have to put for me in there. I gotta be All I Got Is You.
Okay.
Yes.
That's All I Got Is You is in there. You know, that's a struggle. That's first.
That's first.
That's first. You know what I mean? Because to this day, I can't even hear that. I can't even do that record without crying. Like if I go on stage or go to a big ass show and they like, I don't perform that record.
You don't?
I'm getting my feelings. Yeah, because it bring back so much pain.
Do you know Do you know that record touched me a lot? Because when I used to live in the ghetto, like a lot of things that you said, like I relate to them. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like the cable with the antenna.
The antenna with the TV, with the antennas.
Yeah, the
roaches and shit coming out the stereo box.
And a lot of people, from the reggaeton era right now, people who come from good families, they want to go like try to live the ghetto life.
Right.
And I goes like, you don't even know what you asking.
You don't even
man.
Exactly.
You don't even know what you asking. You don't even know which is the struggle.
Yeah.
You don't even know to see your mom's crying because you don't have nothing to feed you probably in the next week.
That's right.
And that song is very deep.
It's deep, bro.
It's very deep.
Yeah. But the music, like I said before, it made me go there. It took me there. I didn't know I didn't plan to write that shit. The music just made me, it drew me to it. And when I got it out, I got it out.
That's your first album.
I know. And then it just came out that way. And then now it's like I had people like locked up in jail saying, yo, this had me crying in jail when I heard this. Like a lot of people cried off it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, if I touched an emotion like that off of this record, you know what I mean? It's like that shit is deep. You know what I mean? To really have a grown man just water fall out his eyes based off of a record of what you're saying. And there's a lot of them like they went through it, like you said, like, yo, man, I've been through that and I've been through that, but it's so heavy where it's like, now I look at it when I hear it, it's like, damn, did I spill too much personal information? You know what I mean? Because I don't even want to hear it because it takes me back to that, you know what I mean? And my mom's ain't around no more. She gone, rest in peace. But I would have to start with that. Now, all the rest of the other records, I can't really tell you because I would have to I love a lot of artists. Like you said, don't even gotta be rap. You know what I mean? But I love I love Stevie, all that shit. You know what I mean? All like good music. and I would have to think about it, bro. I can't. I'll be honest with you. I can't even.
Una pregunta para Sosa. Sosa, ahora, ¿qué se siente, verdad? Ya que hablábamos tras de cámara, el proceso, ¿verdad? De cómo tú has llegado a las manos de esta leyenda viviente. ¿Qué siente, verdad? ¿Qué se siente el tener esta responsabilidad? El tu poder y la oportunidad de tú tener ahora de poder exponer tu música y que sea una leyenda como lo es GhostFace Killah, que te haya echado el brazo y te ha echado, como quien dice, la bendición.
No, para mí ha sido una cosa, un sueño hecho realidad primero que nada. Pero tantas cosas han pasado increíbles. ¿Tú me entiendes? Te voy a dar una de las muchas. Ellos me llevan a un Wu Wednesdays que hacían en New Jersey. Y para esos tiempos, pues yo no estaba firmado con ellos. A ellos les gusta mi música, sí, les gusta mi música, pero tiene que llegar al punto, me tienen que dar en tarima. ¿Tú me entiendes? Yo entiendo todo el proceso que ellos hacen para estar seguro de que aquí es que nos vamos a zumbar con este hombre. So, me acuerdo que estamos en New Jersey y voy a cantar y el gordo fue mi corista ese día. Y estamos trepando esa tarima y cuando yo me fijo en el VIP que está todo el mundo, yo mira, está Raekwon, está Killah Army, está GhostFace Killah, está Shaheem. Y toda esa gente está ahí en el palco mirándome. Yo le meto, rompo, y cuando voy para donde ellos, para arriba, yo pensaba que iba a estar mi corillo esperándome. No, yo tengo todo esto documentado porque mi carrera desde el día cero ha sido documentada. Yo quise grabar todo mi proceso. Cuando yo subo por esa escalera, está esperándome él, Raekwon. Para mí, ¿tú sabes lo que es eso? Que yo soy fanático de esta gente desde el principio y que ellos son los que me están dando el abrazo y, coño, te quedó cabrón. Y yo, ¿en serio? No, cabrón. ¿Sabes? Cosas así, cosas como básicamente una de las más brutales. Llegar a realizar. Mi casa, estamos en casa. Estos hombres pasan de ser de mis ídolos a mi familia. ¿Tú me entiendes? Special que es más cabrón que la firmadera, más cabrón que todo. Esa relación que yo he tenido, que tengo con ellos, es más valiosa que lo que... Yo ahora mismo puedo salir de este podcast y me voy para el carro y dije, lo logré. Sin pegar un disco, sin ganarme un Grammy. Para mí, yo hice algo que muchas personas ni se imaginaban, pues se pueden imaginar hacer.
No, que muchos soñaron, eso, pero tal vez no pensaron ni que
y aparte
tú lo estás viviendo.
Que el Southside de Isabela.
No, es de Isabela.
Y yo quiero que el público sepa lo complicado que es pegar o hacer este tipo de gestión viniendo del lado oeste de Puerto Rico.
Súper.
O sea, así que shout out a todos esos guerreros como Alex Fat, Cario, Babalú, toda esa gente que están allá, Sabi también, que hace música. Papi, lograrlo y tener una posición que sea pequeña dentro de la industria es bien complicado. La gente no sabe. Mucha gente habla de acá, pero la gente no sabe.
Mira si es doble la dificultad. Hablas de Isabela. Súper difícil. Me mudo para Shaolin. ¿Cuál es el único grupo que ha salido de Shaolin? Wu Tang. No hay más nadie. Y ahora yo. Latino. El primer latino de Staten Island. Encima de eso. Que tienen una responsabilidad dura, brother, para grabar con esta gente. Yo sí vengo de Isabela, de un pueblo sumamente difícil de resaltar, de que nos pongan el ojo encima. Tú me entiendes, un pueblo que me enseñó todo. Tú me entiendes, ahí yo comencé a soñar. Caminando por la marina, como iba a Manny siempre. Claro, que ahí yo comencé a soñar hasta que llegué a un sitio que era más difícil porque, como dicen esta tenga, ese es el borough que nadie lo reconocía hasta que ellos no salieron y los explotaron en canto. ¿Tú me entiendes? Y yo ser latino, ahí que nadie rapeaba en español en Staten Island. Y que ellos me adopten a mí.
Es un Grammy. Tú lo dijiste, es un Grammy.
Ya lo tengo. A veces lo comparto con el primo mío. A veces el proceso de la música es un proceso muy frustrante. Yo quiero ser básicamente un ejemplo. Yo no soy un chamaquito. Yo llevo años con cojones en esto. Yo quiero ser un ejemplo porque mucha gente se quita, mano. ¿Verdad? Yo las he pasado, yo he querido quitarme. Y cada vez que he querido quitarme,
pasa algo.
Dios me abre unas puertas que yo ni me imagino. Como este video que tengo en la calle ahora mismo. Este video no era para hacerlo.
¿Cómo así?
Porque el video, básicamente, teníamos la canción hacían 6 años atrás, este tema. Y este tema surge, yo sacarlo porque entro en una de mis waves, que esto se pone difícil, el dinero está, esto no es fácil, esto no es barato. ¿Tú me entiendes? So, entró uno de esos que, mira, ¿tú sabes qué? Prefiero no meter la música, pero voy a soltar todos estos temas que tengo aquí guardados. Por lo menos uno de estos temas se va a pegar. Y comencé a perderle el miedo a lo que era, tienes que tenerle 50,000 pesos de promo, 10,000 por acá. Si eso no es la fórmula para todo el mundo. Yo tuve manager que sí invirtieron cierto dinero, tampoco me pegué. So, yo y mi primo siempre decimos que tú sabes que vamos a hacer las cosas y ya está. Vamos a soltar este video. Este video me ha quedado tan brutal a mí. Yo tengo actores de The Wire. Yo tengo actores que salen en series de televisión. Este video lo dirigí yo. Esto fue un proyecto que yo dije, ¿tú sabes qué? Yo quiero que alguien lo filme. Y yo lo voy a dirigir. Porque por primera vez en mi vida yo quiero que lo que yo escribo lo quiero proyectar. Ningún productor ha podido sacar mi visión. Y en este proyecto yo decidí decir, tú sabes que yo voy a tomar total control de mi visión. Y yo dirigí a este hombre. Dirigí a actores de Hollywood en un video que ellos dijeron, sí, ¿cuánto me vas a cobrar? Creemos en ti. Nos gusta como eres y vamos a apoyarte.
Y que tienes ahí a Brian Martínez.
Brian Martínez, que es un escritor, que ese muchacho escribió uno de los temas de Farruko, creo que Enamorado del Dinero. No sé qué parte escribió, pero escribió creo, la mayoría de ese tema. Y lo tengo en ese tema. Surge que no iba a sacar el tema, lo envío a mi camarógrafo y él me dice, no, este tema tú no lo puedes sacar solamente por sacarlo, hay que hacerle un video. Y le digo, no, es que no hay budget para hacerle este video ahora mismo. Y cuando digo que Dios abre las puertas, comienzan cosas a pasar. Si tú ves el video de Ferrari, hay escenas de casino. Tú ves el video y dices, gastaste, cabrón, 20,000 pesos en ese video. No, mano. Lo que gasté fue llamadas telefónicas. Y ahí fue que yo dije, ¿tú sabes qué? Esto es lo que yo voy a hacer. Porque se abrieron puertas, como vuelvo y te repito, imposibles de abrirse.
Yo creo que tú eres un ejemplo para todos esos artistas que piensan que por ser del oeste, por ser de Puerto Rico o por tener cierta edad, ya la capacidad de lograrlo es bien mínima. Pues qué bueno, brother, qué bueno que te has dado la tarea de seguir luchando, seguir componiendo temas, lanzando música. Porque mira, como tú mismo dices, ¿quién se iba a imaginar que este pana de Isabela, Puerto Rico, estuviese trabajando mano a mano con las leyendas del hip hop de Estados Unidos? Así que te felicito, definitivamente,
gracias,
brother.
Gracias.
Te felicito. Te iba a preguntar, Sousa, ¿cuáles son los planes que tienen desde ahora para adelante, que estás trabajando de la mano de los muchachos?
Bueno, ahora mismo pues ya, 1 de enero soltamos este disco que gracias a Dios, y quiero decir algo, ya que estoy aquí, es para que, lo digo porque yo sé que esto lo ve mucha gente, y te dije que quise hacer un ejemplo. Este video yo lo suelto, y yo decía que este video me iba a llegar a un punto que me iban a reconocer. No que me iba a llegar a ser súper famoso. Con este video, yo iba a llegar a un punto que la gente dice, ¿quién es ese tipo?
Déjame buscarlo.
Siempre lo dije antes de grabar el video. Y después me decían, no sueltes el video porque la promo. Mira, el video no me ha llegado ni a mí todavía. Y el video lo ve una persona que quiero mucho, Manny. Y Manny hace acercamiento por ese video. No lo vieron más de 1,000 personas, pero lo vio una sola persona que tenía la amistad y las conexiones con ciertas personas como ustedes que me dan la oportunidad de estar en este show. Yo he visto gente con videos de 2, 3 millones y están haciendo lo mismo. Yo le di con fe. Yo dije, ¿tú sabes qué? Lo va a haber uno.
Eso es verdad.
Lo va a haber uno que me llegue hasta aquí. Aquí estamos.
La gente siempre piensa en los views. ¿Verdad? Quiero 1 millón, quiero 2 millones. Yo prefiero que me vea una persona, pero que esa persona me ayude a seguir escalando. Sí,
exacto.
Eso es duro, no es que me haga rico, es como que muchos artistas quieren cantar en tarimas que haya mucha gente. Y cuando hay 20, 30 personas dicen, yo no voy a cantar ahí.
Y a lo mejor
pero
ahí está
esas 20 personas estaba el que.
Y además tiene
Y va a llevar a
ayudar
miles de personas.
No ver la escalera ni ven el proceso.
La historia de mi
Y
vida.
más
Esa ha
cuando
sido la
está-
historia de mi vida. Y siempre, vuelvo y repito, que mi primo siempre es como mi otro lado del cerebro. Y siempre me lo dice. Uno, lo que hace falta es que nos vea. Y sigo escalando, hasta que llega el nivel que quiero estar.
Full.
¿Tú me entiendes? Pero me he gozado el proceso.
Eso
El proceso me frustraba y me molestaba.
Claro.
Y yo decía el por qué. Y hoy yo sé el por qué. Es que tengo tanto conocimiento. Si yo no hubiera pasado por las cosas que yo hubiera
No hubiese
pasado,
tenido esa historia aquí.
no estuviera aquí.
Claro que sí.
¿Tú me entiendes? No estuviera ready para las cosas
Si
que
alguien
estoy
ahora
ready.
mismo, si alguien ahora mismo en la industria musical se lambe y te manda un rafagazo.
Yo te voy a hacer claro, ¿verdad? yo te voy a hacer claro. Yo no estoy para la queja. Pero hay. En verdad, yo no estoy para eso. No quiero, ¿verdad? Ni traer esa energía hacia mí.
Pero te mide.
Hacia mí.
Te monta.
Ya los temas están hechos, por si acaso. ya están hechos, por si acaso. Pero no es mi enfoque. Estoy enfocado en verdaderamente traer lo que hace falta. Música diferente, música de verdad.
Mencióname el top 5 de los artistas más duros ahora mismo según el Sosa.
Bueno, según... Te voy a decir otra cosa. Yo no escucho a mucha gente porque yo me escucho yo. Pero que me gustan, no te puedo mencionar ni 5 canciones ahora mismo que están pegadas. Porque es que no escucho a nadie.
Estás enfocado en tu música.
Estoy enfocado, yo enfoco en mi música desde siempre. Mencionarte artistas que me ha gustado ciertas cosas que han hecho y me puedo ver haciendo cosas con ellos, sí te puedo decir 5. Tú me entiendes, voy con Arcángel, como siempre te lo estoy diciendo, me gustaría hacer algo con Eladio Carrión, me veo haciendo algo con MC Ceja. ¿Sabes por qué?
MC Ceja,
¿Tú sabes
papi.
por qué? Porque a pesar de haber me enfiebró con Wu Tang, después que conseguí a Wu Tang, Ceja fue otro que me enfiebró en Puerto Rico.
Chingo, Django, Ceja tiene el mando cuando
¿tú
está
entiendes?
cantando.
Me gustaría hacer una canción con esta chamaca, no es ni japera, mano.
Yo.
Se me olvidó el nombre ahora mismo. Pero canta.
¿Es rapera?
No es rapera,
¿No es
ella
rapera?
canta balada aquí en Puerto Rico.
Elizani.
No es Elizani. Se me olvidó el nombre, la tenía en la mente.
Cani García.
Cani García. Es más,
Cani
tengo un tema
García.
para Cani García tan
¿Verdad?
salvaje que me gustaría hacer
Pero
con ella.
¿Por qué con Cani García?
el tema-
Porque yo vengo de un background.
No,
A mí me criaron 5 mujeres. Mi mamá, mi abuela y mis tías. En mi casa todos los domingos lo que se escuchaba era José Feliciano, los Buki, salsa.
Música de limpiar. como
Música
digo
de limpiar ventanas.
yo. Sí, música de
¿Tú me
limpiar.
entiendes? Yo comienzo, eso es lo que yo escucho. Y si quieres saber cómo yo empecé a escribir mis primeras rimas, te vas a reír bien brutal, hermano.
Zumba.
Mi tía escribía poemas, ¿verdad?
Ok.
Yo llego a la high y me enamoro de esta chamaca y pego a llevarle poemas de mi tía. Yo le cogía los poemas de mi tía y los escribía y le llevaba poemitas. Un día la chamaca me puso para el challenge. Y yo, tú eres un monstruo escribiendo poemas. Escribe uno ahora mismo. Aquí. Vaya,
¿Dónde?
me dio lo que le escribiera uno ahí.
ok.
Por acá. Y ahí tuve que escribir.
Escribe poema, escribe uno aquí.
Chacho, le hubiera hecho un mural.
Le hecho un mural lindo.
Le dibujaba. Mira, pero ahí pegó a escribir. Si te fijas, si te enseño mi libreta, mis notas, todas mis rimas están escritas.
¿Tienes esas libretas todavía?
Las tengo ahí en el bulto.
Ya.
Pero
Búscate
no
el bulto, dame el bulto ahí. Dame, pásame el bulto.
búscame el bulto,
Dame el bulto.
dame la tablet
Ponle
del
un
bulto,
poema
Miguel, en
del
el
Sosa,
sábado.
de
No,
esos
no
poemas.
un poema. Te estoy diciendo que mis rimas, las canciones mías están escritas en un format de poema. Que hasta el día de hoy son como si tú las miras y te crees que están mirando un poema. Yo no te escribo así pegado, un párrafo, todo el mundo.
Y en prosa, tú escribes en prosa.
Me quedé con ese flow.
Yo quiero leer, que estoy esperando que me busquen la libreta del Sosa. Quiero leer
Un
cómo
poema.
escribe este para.
No, pero esa claro. Dame que bulto.
¿Tú vas a leer un poema, Mikey?
Papi, yo lo voy a leer.
Aquí. Una canción de las mías.
Dale, papi. Zumba, a ver qué es la que hay. Esto va así. Así es que se
Está
prueba.
random.
Esto va así.
Maestra la escribí el otro día.
Ahí está.
Ahí está.
Se llama Semillas. Dice: Qué grande la egolatría que tenía. La visión.
La visión 2020, pero
nadie la veía.
Pero nadie veía.
Pero nadie veía.
Creí
Lela.
saberlo todo. Creí saberlo todo. Espérate, creí saberlo todo.
Qué irónica es la vida.
Irónica es la vida. Sembrando decepción no sabía lo que hacía. Y recojo las cosechas de mis malas noticias. Mi pronóstico del tiempo.
Malas semillas.
Perdón, exacto. Recojo las cosechas de mis malas semillas. Mi pronóstico del tiempo, malas noticias. Me acostumbré a perder. Casi en nadie creía. No me sentía como el joven que. Me sentía como el joven que soñaba en la marina. Sabiendo la verdad, les vendí mentiras. Perdóname, Wilson, por exponerte esta vida. Quise sentarme en la vía y esperar por un tren, pero no lo pude hacer ni voy a subir al Edén. Son cositas así.
Duro.
Me gusta. De eso se trata. Yo creo que. Zumba.
Ghostface. You are known like there's a Wu Tang sound, and you've been known like to be like the holder of the keeper of that sound, and also you have been doing this for like 30 years now, more.
Almost. Yeah, probably more.
30 years, yeah.
And you said once that you never wanted to be called old school.
Definitely.
What is the secret of maintaining your longevity and that sound and being on point? Nowadays, you're really. Que tú estás al día, que está
Update.
And you're like kids talk about you in the same vein as they talk about J. Cole and Kendrick and the new cats and newer cats.
Right.
What is the secret of doing that whole thing? Because it's not easy. It's keeping a tradition, keeping a sound, having a long career, and not being called old school. How you do that, man?
Be afraid to become an old school.
Punchline. Punch.
Like, yeah, and being around. I mean, you gotta just. I mean, it's that's first. Like, I mean, I gotta like fear that. But just trying to stay grounded and just do what you've been doing. Like I love music. You know what I'm saying? I love beats, and I try when I'm writing, I try to just. First, I'm gonna say the shit that I like. I'm not writing for everybody else. I mean, I do, but I gotta do it for me. So I gotta like it. You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, that's it. And try to be around guys that still keep my lingo up. Because I'm not wild in the streets like I did before. Back in the days. You know what I mean?
But some of your peers have stayed in those years, and they just do shows about those times. You got things in the 2000s, in the 20s.
It's like it's so much. People don't understand. Knowledge is infinite. So many things to talk about. You know what I mean? Like even if I get 70, man, and 80, and if I got false teeth in my mouth, I'm talking about it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta take your people with you. Like, you know what I mean? So I understand. Like, yeah, you could rap about cars and jewelry, but there's a lot of other things that have substance in it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's like the way I see music and the way I see the game. It's like, yo, first of all, this shit is an illusion. You know what I mean? A big illusion. Whoever can paint the best illusion is going to win. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Puffy could go to a crap table and he could ass bet the whole shit, but they think he got the money on him. You know what I mean? And it's not there. I learned that early. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a game. What do you mean it's the game, rap game? It's the game, bro. Play the game. And that's it. Like I ain't gonna say no names though, but I heard a couple of rappers that's big rappers from out of the South. When they did their first record, they went and bought a bunch of fake chains. You know what I mean? Yeah. And shot a video inside a big ass crib and put a couple of nice shirts on, and they made the song. I ain't gonna say who it was though. Yo, this shit is a smash. You know what I mean? But they got on after that. So they played the game. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's an illusion, bro. It's like it's just how you play it, how you dress it up, and everything. But I know how to read it. I know how to.
But your big ass ego is not fake.
Yeah.
It's,
hell no.
your big ass ego.
How much that weigh?
It's pounds. It's probably been like maybe like 6
pounds,
something like that. Yep. It was all gold.
Damn.
Yeah,
Tiene un
man.
águila que se pone en el brazo así de grande y te lo pone en los shows.
Why you pick an
De oro
eagle?
puro.
Like why an
No,
eagle?
because when I was younger, these cats from up on Raekwon and them's project called Park Hill, they was they was Guyanese, these Jamaicans, there was a lot of them. But they came out with big jewelry on with velour sweatsuits and Gucci sneakers and all that. They was really getting money. You know what I mean? So I said to myself one day, like, yo, I'm a have that. That's gonna be me one day. When I get on, I knew I was going. I don't know. I seen myself on back in those days. I think I might have smoked some dust or whatever, and I just
The imagination. You're dreaming.
I seen it. So when I got on and we was doing that, I was like, yo, I gotta, you know, that was like my costume. When I put the robe on, I put the bracelets on and all that shit, the clocks on and all that. Yeah. I visioned that. I like visioned my whole career, like, you know what I mean? So
You had millions of people wearing wallabies.
As far as you can see. But if you can see it, you can get it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe that.
Let's talk about your best album and why is Supreme Clientele.
He said, why Supreme? Yeah. You know what? With Supreme, it was a listen, what I did on Raekwon's album, on Raekwon's album, you know what I mean? I had to really like go up there and show out, right? But when I did Iron Man, it was a dark time for me. It was really dark, like, you know what I mean? I found out I was diabetic, just going through shit.
That was one of my questions.
Just going through shit, you know what I mean? I was kind of like stressed out. I didn't really get to show out on Iron Man like I would have showed how I showed on Cuban Links. So after I got through that, it was time to do Supreme. I already knew where I wanted to go. Because I had two names to name. I could name Iron Man, or Supreme. It was whatchamacallit. So I went to RZA and them, Raekwon and them, they said, nah, name it Iron Man. So I already had Supreme already in there. Supreme was more, it sounded more colorful to me. You know what I mean? So that happened to be the second album. But it be a lot of the vibe that you in. You know what I mean? Like the times and the people that's around you, it be the vibe you in. Sometimes people can be like, yo, go back and do that and do it. Sometimes you just can't go back. You know what I mean? It's like you telling Nas to go back and make Illmatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Illmatic is Illmatic.
That's it.
You know what I mean? When he was
even when he made Stillmatic.
Yeah, it's not Illmatic. You know what I mean? Illmatic is Illmatic, but it's the times he was in. His mind was still fresh in the projects and all that other shit. You know what I mean? And quite sure he had jungle. He had his peoples with him, all that like that. So you just bugging. You don't give a fuck about nothing. You know what I mean? So that energy will carry on into your raps, into the booth and all that shit, and that's where it stays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what a lot of shit.
The music is time, is energy, is
like this time right now is this time.
It's vibe, is a lot
You know
of
what I
things.
mean? Like when Social dropped his album, you're gonna be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Probably like 10 albums later, you might want to get, hey, yo, the first shit, like, yo, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, that time is gone.
Yeah, but
it's like a picture of that moment, and that's all.
Yeah, but usually artists do the first album, and the second one is not as great as the first one. You have been in a constant elevation throughout your albums.
Because I'd be scared to fall off. You know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you, it's like you gotta strive for the best. You gotta really like. I take it serious. I take it really serious. To like music, especially when it comes to my shit. I got to.
You are the only ones, one of the only artists ever that all their albums are dope. Because I'm a follower of Karis. Right. But he got some albums that are not that, and then he comes back and but and other artists have been, but yours,
right?
Like and they're all different. Like
They're different.
I listen to 12 Reasons to Die
Right.
for when I'm in a certain mood. Then I come back to Supreme Clientele. Then I go back to Fish Scale. Then I go to Bulletproof Wallets.
Right.
And it's different moods, and they're all different, and
Right.
they're all dope. How the
Right.
hell you do that shit?
You gotta just see it, bro. You gotta see it. You gotta know what you want. You gotta see it. You gotta know what it's. Just know what it's hitting for. That's why I say you gotta read it. A lot of artists, they can rap, but they don't know how to read music. They don't know how to. They just don't got the eye. The eye. They can rap their ass off, but they just. And that's how you said earlier, like, yo, you got banging artists but they music might not be like that. You know what I mean? Or they might got, like singles, just do singles, and the albums, the rest of the record albums just be like that. I take it like a book. I'm like, yo, I do shit where when I'm finishing up my album, it's like when I'm putting it into place, I take each record and I'll put it up against what record just to see which record should come first. You know what I mean? Then which records should come second. Then which records should come third. I change that whole shit around. I do different flips on it and see how it builds, how it should slow down, and how it should end.
Like
you
a
know
movie.
what I mean? I go exactly. I do that, and that takes me motherfucking like 3 weeks, maybe a month, if it's like that. You know what I mean? And just play for people like, yo, how these 4, if it's 12 records, how these 4 records sound? Like coming back to back to back to, and if it hits me like that, then I'm keeping it like that. Then there was some records where I fucked up on, like say Fish Scale. You might like it and shit, but it's like I ain't need all those fucking records. I ain't need those records. You know what I mean? I ain't need all that shit. And certain records don't need skits. But I love skits though. But certain records just don't need them. If you got a bulldog that's just all chunky 9-10 records, nigga, that's the shit. You don't need to fuck that. You know what I mean? Unless you got to try shit. But I was learning. You know what I mean? I was learning. As I was doing it, I'm learning. Now I'm in the pocket now where I know now. I'm in my 50s. But you know what I mean? But it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
And you do collaborations, they sound fat. You do Wu Massacre, you do Wu Block, you do, and they're also insane, and they're different vibes.
Yeah,
and
you just gotta know music, man. You gotta just love it and just know it, and just know not how to sound corny. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like, yo, just know when to chill the fuck out. Like, nah, I can't fuck with that. You know what I mean? And then certain shit you can just be like, all right, yo, cool. But then I always get somebody's advice like, yo, keep it 100 with me. You gotta have motherfuckers keep it 100 with you. Because you could dive out the window, jump out the window on some bullshit, and it's like...
The worst thing to have is a yes man. The worst thing to have is a yes man. What happened? Did you really have a beef with Biggie when he was alive, when you started your career?
When I started?
When you started, was there really a beef with Notorious?
It wasn't really a beef. It was like, I was 25. We was just wilding. You know what I mean? Just wilding, just saying shit. We just, whatever I felt. And at that time, it was rapper shit. You know what I mean? I don't think it was a beef.
Okay.
I was just speaking my mind, really. You know what I mean? But and I could see how people could take it as a beef and stuff like that, and I could see how he could take it as a beef. Because in rap, you don't really bring up a nigga's name. I didn't really bring the name up, but people knew what I was talking about. That's what it was on Raekwon's album.
Exactly.
Right?
It was about a cover or something.
It was on Nas's cover. Like back then, like in rap, we not really supposed to like bite nothing. You know what I mean? So I don't give niggas raps, this and that and the third. It was like, yo. So when I saw his cover and Nas had the baby cover, I mean I couldn't understand it, to a certain like, yo, why would you know what I mean? But I didn't really have a beef with him. Wasn't a beef. I just one day we was just in the studio and I'm just doing a skit. Like we just recording shit, talking. And then out of all the shit that we talk that day, because that's little chunk that was in there that they decided to put in there. You know what I mean? And and it came like that, and it caused, not saying it was friction, caused no friction though, because I seen him we never said nothing to each other until like the day before he died, because I'm like I see him in L.A., so I'm like.
You saw him the day before he died?
Yeah, one day or 2 days before he died. Yep, in the Key Club. Wow. So I'm like, but I did want to, and don't get me wrong, he was nice. So I did want to like say, yo, fuck that shit and just make some music. You know what I mean? Let's just make some music and shit. But because we seen each other mad times on planes and everything, and it was kind of like awkward and shit. But I didn't really know how they was feeling and shit. And
can you recall like which was the last interaction of words you have with Biggie?
Yeah, in the Key Club. So we coming from somewhere. I think the studio. We just went over there because there was I think Brandy had a party there. So it was him and C's in there. When we got to it was over, but they were standing near the door. So me, Ray, and Cap, I think walked in. I don't know if it was about. I remember me, Ray, and Cap walking in, and I'm seeing them against the like standing over here, like to the side where the door's at. And I shook his hand. You know what I mean? Like, they did it first. I was like the last one to get slapped at 5 though. Like, you know what I mean? We walked in, but that was it. We didn't talk or nothing like that. And then because we was out there doing Triumph. We was doing, the album out there like that. So, like a day or two later, they come back to the room. These girls come back to the room, like where we was at, and like, like just mad, just going crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, we just seen them. But I did want to tell them like, yo, bro, that ain't about nothing. Ain't about nothing. You know what I mean? Let's go somewhere and make some music and you know what I mean, and just forget about that other shit. But now when I look back on it, it was like, yo, I was like 25 talking that shit. You know what I mean? Because at that time, we was invincible.
You were like 40 motherfuckers. You had like 10 albums back to back to back to back. You were invincible. Like, you were the Wu.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm not even talking about, it's just how I felt in my heart. Mm-hmm. I ain't these other, because I've been on some bullshit. The Wu was just the Wu. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the guys. You know what I mean? So it's like, I got to go outside. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, cool. But then when I look back on it, it was like, yo, that was a little knucklehead shit on my behalf that you know what I mean? That you're just 25, man. You in your prime. You wilding. If
you have the opportunity to talk to him right now,
I'll tell him the same thing. Yo, it wasn't about nothing. Yo, I'm sorry, bro. You know what I mean? I know, I don't know, because to be in that position, it's like, yo, you know how you make a motherfucker feel, and then you got people coming at him like, yo, what's up with that shit? What's up, yo, let's get this nigga, let's do all that shit like that, and whatever. Then he got to hear that shit from here and here, and then it's like, that might have put a little bit of stress on him. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. And he's already going, I think he might have been going through that shit with Tupac, you know what I mean, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? So it's like, all that, then you get killed. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like being like
life too fragile.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So and he was young, but he was young too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I think he was 24, I'm 25 or whatever. So it's like, yo, we little niggas. Just doing what you do, like
rappers,
you know what I mean?
Rapper things.
Yeah, rap and shit. But I was still on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Selling drugs and I stopped robbing and shit, but. It was like, yo, you just outside. You know what I mean? So it was just all that though. But it wasn't really like, oh shit, I got beef with this motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, he never did nothing to me. I never really met him. That Meth did songs with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I felt bad for that after a while because I had Meth in between both of them shits. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Meth is cool. He cool. So I felt bad, like, damn, because when I'm doing it, I ain't even think about what he just did with it. And Big was I see Big with Wu Tang shirts on. You know what I mean? And shit like that.
Yeah,
there's
like, a picture with
that shit makes me feel even more stupid. Like, damn, man, what the fuck is, you know what I mean? Because I heard he was a fan. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, and he's like, he's in people top 5 dead or alive as greatest rappers to ever do it. You know what I mean? Sure. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, man. Yeah.
And before we go, I want to take this opportunity, right? Now we're talking about Biggie, and I would like to ask you about this fellow member from the Wu Tang, ODB. If you have the opportunity to tell him now, as today, 26th of January 2024, how much you miss him or something from the bottom of your heart to him today, what he will do.
I'll tell him thank you, man. I had so many laughs with him, like laughs and good times. Dirt was like, I never met another individual that was like him. Because he was different. He was unique. He didn't give a fuck about nothing. I met him not giving a fuck about nothing. You know what I mean? Like I met the nigga on some like, yo, I'm eating a sandwich and shit. This motherfucker gonna come up to me like, yo, let me get a piece. Can I get a piece of that? And shit. You know what I'm saying? I got hair on shit. I'm like, yo, but I know this RZA's cousin and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, you know what? I gave it to him and shit. And from right there, we just bonded. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, my mother used to drink, her friends, and yo, this nigga come in my house, over there, my mom's house, and singing with them at the kitchen table, just going in on some Roberta Flack shit, and you know what I mean? Like all those records, like all soul records, like just going in. I hope that all that fly shit. You know what I mean? So he was one of those niggas, like, you know what I'm saying? And funny. Just mad funny. So he's a nigga that really made me feel a certain way, like not giving a fuck. That, you know, Dirt was like, he'd fuck around and drop a piece of a sandwich on the floor and wipe it off and say, yo, Dirt, God made dirt don't hurt. You heard? He's one of them niggas. He'd do it. He'd do it right now in front of y'all. Like, just do it. Like, he never got embarrassed. Never. He'd sit up here at the interview and fuck with his nose and pluck big boogers and shit. Like he just one of those, but bag every fucking bitch that you'll be scared to bag and get her. I'm telling you. And I seen it with my own eyes. Like, and I'm thinking this nigga gonna get slapped. Never got slapped. Like, bring the bitch to the show, like, just in the mall. Like, he one of them niggas that'll go to the chicken. I seen him do shit like, yo, you don't know who I am? You don't know who the fuck I am? Like, literally, like, cursing and everything. And the bitch don't know, and he just be like, me and Mariah. It's like, yo, who the fuck does this shit? And then he got the bitch at the show that night, then fucking her later on. Like, you know, but it's a lot of that shit that went down. He was just different. But people, after a while, you know what I mean, them drugs got to him a little something, but, you know, and then, especially when he came out, he wasn't never the same. You know what I mean? Because he, I guess, bugged out a little bit, and they feed him the medications and getting him all fat and blown up and shit like that, and it was just like, he went in there, it was the medication that really made him change. But yeah, and it was like, yo, man, and the thing about him is just that it's like, not even saying it's a mystery, because I don't believe in mysteries, but what was the name of his first album? Return to
36 Chambers.
And that's where he died at. And he returned back to the essence in 36 Chambers, and it was like, but that was your first album.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So you return to the 30s, and you died and returned right back to the essence in 36 Chambers. At 36 years old, I think. You know what I mean?
It's not even fair.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So all of that adds up like that, like, damn, yo. And God don't make mistakes, so everything is already preordained. It's already destined for your expiration date to be right there. You know what I mean? So it's like, but that was my brother. I missed it. I kissed him. I got a hug. I got to do everything with him. I'm like, yo, man, I love him, yo. I love him.
That's why we have to take the opportunity every day to tell your significant others, your parents, if you have them alive, your daughter, your sons, whatever,
all of that,
friends.
Man.
Calling. If you have a problem with somebody today, just grab the phone, make a phone call, and settle it down, because life is too fragile.
It's true, man.
I want to say thank you, Sosa, Mikey, Predator, Aldo, GhostFace Killah.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for this moment that you gave us today.
Thank
to
you.
all the people who is actually watching this podcast. This is our first podcast in English, so
Yeah.
I don't know if
In
they
Spanglish,
understand.
Spanglish.
I don't know
Yeah.
if they are understanding what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it's a privilege. It's a privilege for us that you guys come here and
Nice.
talk with us and give it your time and give it some love. So we appreciate
Yo,
it
man,
so much, bro.
I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank you for giving me one of the best days in my life. I've been one of my heroes.
Yeah, no, we good.
I thank you for all your music. I
Right.
thank for Wu Tang save a lot of lives. Wu Tang is for the children.
Right.
And Wu
Thank
Tang
you.
is
Yeah.
forever.
Forever, brother.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I
Un
appreciate
aplauso
y'all.
para GhostFace para el
Woo.
Y esto es
Base y fundamento.